I love finding specialty ingredients that work for spicing up sundowner hour on the boat. I especially like it when that specialty ingredient has applications beyond just sundowner time. Hi, I'm Nico Waters, and welcome to the Boat Galley Podcast. I'm talking about my very favorite, maybe I should say it's my very current favorite, very favorite specialty ingredient on Calypso, and some other uses that I have for it. Today's episode of the Boat Galley Podcast is sponsored by Marine Electronics Advisor, a service from SeaTech Systems. Get unlimited expert advice as you upgrade and maintain your boat's electronic and communication systems. Got questions about how to install your new AIS? Want to know if that on-sale radar will talk to your chart plotter? What if you're wondering how to configure your new Wi-Fi extender? Or you've got questions about a whole full electronics refit? The Marine Electronics Advisor has you covered. Use code BOATGALLEY, that's BOATGALLEY, for an exclusive $100 off your first month subscription. Visit ctech.systems/DIY to learn more. Marine Electronics Advisor, the ultimate subscription consulting service for the DIY boat owner. One of my secrets to a self-sufficient galley is having certain ingredients on hand that you know you can pull out to just kind of up-level your cooking, no matter what the time of day. When I lived on land and I was in a house with a freezer, one of the things that I loved to make sure that I always had on hand was a stash of homemade roasted tomatoes. I would buy cherry or grape tomatoes when they were on sale. I'd cut them in half, drizzle them with red wine vinegar, a splash of balsamic, a whole bunch of olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, sprinkle them with thyme, and of course 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, just peeled, cut in half, and then I'd long, slow roast them for an hour or longer at 275, basically until you just couldn't stand the smell anymore and it just made your mouth water every time you walked into the house. I'd cool them down, package them into cup containers, and then I'd freeze them. On board, we don't have any freezer, and I haven't yet figured out canning my own roasted tomatoes, which is definitely on the list. But meanwhile, I have discovered my new favorite onboard specialty ingredient. And yes, it's only available at Trader Joe's. While you can order it on Amazon, the price is bananas on Amazon. And that is a side note. Make sure before you order anything from Amazon or any other mail order place that the cost is in line with what you would pay at a store, or at least not outrageously more. But I think the Amazon price for this one little jar of topping is $9.50. Whereas at Trader Joe's, it's like $2.89. It's not worth 3.5 times the price to order it on Amazon, but I digress. I realize I haven't even told you what my favorite specialty ingredient is. It's Trader Joe's Bruschetta topping. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly the right way to pronounce it. Basically, it's tomato topping with garlic and basil. Looking at the jar, that's what it says right on it. But it's not that different than my roasted tomatoes, but it's got a little bit of something spicy that's added to it. If you Google bruschetta, you'll see that it's basically grilled bread, drizzled with or brushed with olive oil, and then with some kind of maybe rubbed with a cut clove of garlic, and then topped with something interesting. It's an appetizer. You could do it as part of a light dinner or that sort of thing. And sure, this absolutely, as advertised, you craft little rounds of baguette to this, you grill them up or put them in a frying pan to get them nice and crispy. You top them with about a teaspoon of this stuff. It's super easy, looks really awesome on a plate, would definitely fill the sundowner need just gorgeously and easily. A second way that I use it is to add a little bit of extra oomph and flavor to one of those use up what's left in the fridge dinners. For me, a lot of those are often frittatas or spaghetti or quesadillas or some kind of interesting casserole. Just get all the stuff that you have, fried rice even, although I'm not sure I would use this in fried rice unless I was not using soy sauce as the extra flavor. It would be different. I go for some more Mediterranean type flavors if I'm going to use this particular ingredient to umph up the recipe. One of our favorite ways to use this actually is as an unexpected zip to sandwiches. Forget sliced tomatoes, which you might not have if you're out cruising anyway. But this stuff, a couple of teaspoons of this is, oh man, my mouth is watering just thinking about it. It adds such an incredible level to just basic sandwiches. You can do it with grilled cheese. You can do it with any kind of a sandwich that you have. And the fourth favorite way that I use this for is as the roasted tomato part of a homemade pizza. And homemade pizza, you start with your crust, and you can actually, if you don't have any tomato sauce or don't want to make sauce with it, you can just take spoonfuls of this stuff, dab it on top of your dough, grab little handfuls of cheese and put it around, and you have this amazing pizza that just tastes spectacular. I have tried other commercially available bruschetta, stuff that you can find in a jar in many grocery stores, and I haven't found one that comes even close to the Trader Joe's for flavor and price. The worst one that I found was basically, it was super small, extra diced tomatoes and vegetable oil with absolutely no extra flavor added. I could have spent a lot less money and actually had a better experience by taking a can of diced tomatoes and adding dried basil to it. And that doesn't sound particularly good. It wouldn't be particularly good. Neither was this stuff that I found at the grocery store. The best version that I found was a sun-dried tomato one that cost probably more like $5.50 or $6 a jar as opposed to the less than $3 for this one from Trader Joe's. But I don't love the texture that comes from sun-dried tomatoes. It's a little too leathery, but at least there was some flavor. So I make sure that I stock up on this topping from Trader Joe's. I'm sure that before we head off sailing away from the land of easily found Trader Joe's, I will definitely take a few extra ones on hand. The next thing, though, that I should probably figure out to do is how to can my home roasted tomatoes. Anybody want to drop me a hint? I can't wait to share an Anchorage with you, and I can hear about what your favorite specialty ingredient is, so I know to look for it and try at least one jar the next time I hit a store where it's available. Thank you so much for listening to the Boat Galley podcast. We love hearing from our listeners. We love it when you share us with your friends. We love it when you write a detailed review so other people know what to expect and how to find us. And we love it, of course, when you don't forget to subscribe. Have the most spectacular week.